So let's start with what should be the last sneak peek clip from Am I Racist that you'll see before the movie comes out. If you want any more clips, you need to go see the movie to see those, you damned freeloaders. This one was released exclusively by Megyn Kelly yesterday, and in this you'll see a small snippet from the very beginning of my journey. The first person I talked to actually in the film, you'll see here, and this is a woman named Kate Slater, who's a prominent anti-racist educator. At least that's what she calls herself, an anti-racist educator. And she's the person who kind of sets me up and sends me on my journey. She created, you'll see this in the film, she created something that she calls the anti-racist roadmap. So we figured that starting this out, I need to know where to go. I need to know who I should talk to. I need to know what my journey should look like. And so we should talk to someone who, has literally made the map on how to confront your whiteness and decolonize yourself. So we start with her, and in this clip you'll see as part of the overall discussion, there was a brief moment where we kind of focused in on an important topic, and this is where I get the frankly pretty devastating news that my 3-year-old daughter might be racist. Listen.
My daughter's 4 years old. I am an anti-racist educator, quote unquote. She's still watching Disney movies, and she is choosing a white princess over princesses of color.
Have you talked to her about that?
All the time.
My 3-year-old daughter is her favorite princess is Moana.
Love it.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
But then I also thought, there's a little bit of cultural appropriation here. She wants to be Moana for Halloween. Mm-hmm. So how do we navigate that? Do I go and buy the Pacific Islander native attire for my white 3-year-old?
I wouldn't.
But I guess what we might call the Moana problem here is what, on one hand, there's cultural appropriation. On the other hand, there's gravitating towards white characters.
Right.
So it's almost like no matter which way you go, you end up back in racism.
We think every space belongs to us because we live in a white supremacist society.
Is America an inherently racist country?
I think the word inherent is challenging there. If we say...
Fundamentally,
yes. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherently.
Yeah.
They gonna say you racist.
Am I Racist? In theaters September 13th. Rated PG-13. Buy tickets now.
Yes, the Moana problem, and perhaps that'll be the name of my next documentary. And unfortunately, it turns out that my 3-year-old daughter, who's now 4, by the way, is racist for liking Moana, but would also be racist for not liking Moana. So, she's racist if she gravitates towards white princesses, racist if she doesn't. Racist either way. No matter which way you go, you end up back in racism, as we just heard. I think in that clip, the thing that most people will pick up on is the exchange about Moana. But notice right before that, when this woman confesses that she brought up the Disney princess thing herself, but she. Talking about her own daughter, throwing her own daughter under the bus, her 4-year-old daughter, for liking white princesses, and then I said, well, have you talked to her about that? She said, all the time. She has talked to her own daughter about her daughter preferring white princesses all the time, is what she says, and I believe her. Sadly for that poor child, I believe Kate Slater that she has all the time. She has frequently lectured her daughter about her racial preferences in Disney princesses. So of course we can laugh at the absurdity of this, and there's a lot of absurdity to laugh at in this film. There's quite a bit of it on display. A film that you can see on September 13th, tickets on sale at miracist.com. But we should always remember that there's something very dark and evil underneath all of this. Beneath the comedy is a tragedy, as I guess is always the case with comedy. But the tragedy here is societal. It's countrywide, culture-wide. And it's that people like this are out there brainwashing susceptible, gullible fools into believing this kind of garbage. And they are also foisting it on their children. I mean, what hope, you think about Kate Slater's 4-year-old daughter, what hope does she have to turn out as a normal, well-adjusted person? We certainly pray that happens. There's hope for all of us. But she's at a massive disadvantage. Like it's those of us who are normal, sane people, we can't even, it's impossible to put ourselves into the mind and the state of mind of someone who has been indoctrinated into this way of thinking, basically from birth. Just imagine what that does to someone before all the way from birth, through childhood, before they get to a point where they can leave their house and maybe encounter other ideas and be exposed to people who will tell them that, hey, you don't have to obsess over this racial stuff. You don't have to hate yourself for being white. Not everything you do is automatically racist. Before they even can be exposed to people who will tell them that, their minds are going to be so warped that it's just, like I said, tragic, but this is what we're trying to expose in the movie. AmIRacist.com. Movie comes out on September 13th. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.